So in this video, I want to talk about the second type of tenant, which is the DSS, which just basically means benefit tenants, anyone who's on government benefit. And in this day and age right now, where we are 2021, and universal credit is very common, it's spreading around the whole country, so it's one payment and all the benefits are included in that. In the past, the people on benefits used to receive different benefits for different things. Some people are still on that because they've not changed over to universal credit. As soon as they do, it all becomes one. A lot of people complain about universal credit. They say they don't get enough and so on, and the government, they get a certain amount, and it's based on ages as well. So between 25 and 35, for example, they will get X amount, 35, 45, another amount. You will need to check those figures for your area on the government website, and it's readily available. Okay, if they are after one room, if they are after an apartment, and if they are after a whole house, the amounts that they can get can vary as well. Again, that information will be on the government website for your local area. Okay, so what are the pros and cons of DSS tenants? The benefit type of tenants, the pros are you can get paid directly from the Department of Work and Pensions, from the government. You can get paid directly, that's one. Second is that you generally do get paid every month. Okay, even if they pay you, even if Department of Work and Pensions, DWP, pay the tenant and they pay you, you can get paid regularly. Okay. Thirdly, you can easily inform the DWP about this tenant, and they're very responsive. You can get through to them quite quickly, and they can interfere or intervene, to help if there's any issues. So, and fourthly, the DWP type of tenants benefits, they're in one sense they're scared of you as a landlord. They really don't want to lose their room. They respect you. They are very quick to follow any instructions that they're given. So they don't want to lose the room. The downside of DSS tenants is that they don't always clean. Okay, so that's another, in a shared house, being clean and hygiene is very, very important. Okay, so they don't always clean, number one. Number two, they have some sort of background history problems that they come with. It could be that they've lost family members and now they have mental health problems as a result, that they are unable to work, and that's why they're on this. It could be that their family have moved on and sold their house, and now they didn't have a place, so they had to move in like this, and now they're on DWP, but everyone's moved away, so they're missing them, and so on. There's 101 different type of scenarios, and I'm mentioning just some that I can remember. So during the lockdown, more people went from working onto DWP, and as a result, I ended up with some universal credit type of tenants. So another downside is that they can't always afford to pay the top up. So let's say that they're getting £323. That was a figure that I used to get, but the room rent is, let's say, 500. They can't always afford to pay the extra 177 pounds or so. They can't always afford to pay it, and so they might struggle. And then if they do pay it, they might not have enough money for food, and so they're taking food from other people. And then another downside is that they're not working a lot, which means they're in the house more often. And if they're in their house more often, they're using more gas and electric and broadband, and therefore the house and the kitchen and everything. An ideal type of tenant is hardly in the house. Yeah, an ideal type of tenant is never in the house. They just pay for it, but they don't use it very often. That's more ideal for us as a business, as a passive business. So bear in mind, someone who's always at home is not necessarily ideal for you as a tenant. So these are some of the downsides. Another downside can be that when it comes to evicting them, if you ever have to evict them, that can be quite hard. So they can cause issues. They're the type that at times they will throw up a fuss, they will argue, they will shout, they will scream. They might complain to the DWP as well. So you can end up in a awkward situation. So I generally don't take DWP tenants and DSS tenants. It's not that I want to discriminate. I have taken them in the past, and I've taken them because I wanted to be able to help them, and I did. But sometimes, like I said in the other video, mixing tenants is a big no-no. It's a mistake because they don't have the similar type of mindset. They won't get on. In most cases, I'm not saying every case, I'm saying most cases, they won't get on. They'll have a different way of thinking. One is working full time, the other one's not working and getting benefits. They'll argue over that. So you don't want to mix these types of tenants. So if you do want to take these types of tenants, then of course you can, and you can. There are things like bond scheme. This is where the council will, confirm a certain number of months that they'll pay up front, and then they will also guarantee the payments, and they'll become the guarantors, and there's all sorts of things. So you can look up the bond scheme. It's relatively new. There is that option. I've been offered it by councils. I've declined it. So that's just because of the tenant type I have. I don't go away from my niche. Okay, wonderful. So that's DSS type of tenants.